All right. Let's do the thing, shall we? Happy hump day, happy Wednesday, and welcome back to VidaneTV. Doing that iRacing thing that we do seems like every single night of the week here at VidaneTV lately. We've been very, very busy, and even on our off nights, still working on the studio over here at or VidaneTV HQ. Easy enough for me to say. Thank you so much for tuning in here tonight, getting down and dirty here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. There you see a great shot of the pit stop. For some reason, the concession stand is closed here in the iRacing world, but that's all right. We brought ourselves a cooler and some snacks, and we're ready to rock and or roll for 100 laps on the docket here tonight. And it is all brought to you by the Turn 4 Podcast, putting it on race number 2 here this evening. And it's brought to you tonight by the Original Wheelman. Some cool t-shirt designs over at the Original Wheelman. I was checking out their Facebook page before we came on the air here this evening. Definitely shoot on over, give them a like, a follow, take a look at some of the merchandise they've got over there, and let them know VidaneTV and the Turn 4 Podcast sent you. Man, oh man, speaking of Turn 4 Podcast, great recap of the Snowball Derby. Be sure to check out that podcast. That episode dropped yesterday. That's on Spotify, iTunes, all the major podcast outlets, and be able to check out some cool stuff going on there. And man, we got a jam-packed week here at VidaneTV as we get ready to wrap up qualifying here tonight for race number 2, the Turn 4 Podcast Winter Series. These late model stocks here, and it's going to be a blast. We got NEP coming back tomorrow night at Stafford Motor Speedway, and then Tim's Corner Motorsports coming back this Friday for the Toco Electric Super Late Models. That's going to be at Slinger. Very first time we're going to be racing at Slinger Speedway here at VidaneTV, iRacing newest piece of content. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Just waiting for qualifying to get wrapped up here. You can see the top 3 tied in times. Ship, Kenny, and Wenzel all running a 19.65. Doing things a little bit differently this week. We're going to be taking the top 20 qualifiers. They're going to make the show here tonight, and then we're going to be taking 6 from a B main or an LCQ, a last chance qualifier, last chance for romance, as it were. And that's going to be putting us together a 26-car field and going to be sending some drivers home. Looking like at the track right now, 32 drivers have registered and run a qualifying lap or two. So they know that it's going to be a tough race to get into. 32 drivers, 26 making the field here tonight, and everybody else going to have to tune in here at VidaneTV. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. We are all over the internet as well, live on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, X.com, all the good stuff. Be sure to give us the like, the subscribe, the share, and let your friends and family know that you're watching a little iRacing action here on VidaneTV. And we're getting ready to line them up, or already lining them up there on pit road for the last chance qualifier. 12 drivers duking it out here for 6 positions. And we'll take a quick peek at the starting lineup. Mark Creighton in the 77 car. Cody Parker there on the outside. Garrett Benson, Eric Pomasco going to roll off in row number 2. Andrew Harmon, Dominic Lafleur. Got to check the pronunciation on that. I think that was one of the ones that made it to the sticky note last week. Chris Lindquist going to roll off P7. Mark LaRoche, P8. Jeremiah Sargent, Justin Beecher rolling off in row number 5. And there you see Lane Lantis and Jimmy DeCourcy rounding out the 12 cars. And again, we're taking 6. 6 of these drivers going to move on to the big show here tonight. The other 6, well, they're going to have to sit in the infield, sit in the trailer, sit in the shop, wherever they may be. Heck, you can even go over to Waffle House if you wanted to. Tune in on the YouTube app. Do a quick search for VidaneTV. Pops right up, and you'll be able to follow along right where you're at. Ten laps on the docket. Again, taking 6 here, going on to the main show here this evening. The Myrtle Beach 100 presented by the Original Wheelman. And made mention, actually still have the Facebook page up. There's a lot of really cool designs over there, t-shirt designs and what have you. So be sure to check that out post-race. We'll get it all linked up on the social media outlets as well. And just kind of giving these drivers a final opportunity to make sure everything is ready to rock and roll, doing a quick little drivers meeting to go over some of the minor rule changes from last week. A couple of different things. The qualifying format has changed up just a little bit. Kind of looking to throw the reins on the field, so to speak, and make sure that that everybody kind of understands that we're here to put on a show. We're here to entertain, and that's what we do here at VidaneTV. We entertain the masses, and We're up over 2,000 followers, 2,000 likes on the Facebook page. Got to thank you guys for that. If you don't like the Facebook page, shoot on over and smash that button and let us know that you watched some entertaining iRacing action here on a Wednesday night. And we're still going to be giving away some merchandise. We got some hats and t-shirts we're going to be giving away out of the virtual VidaneTV merchandise hauler. New beanies that just dropped about a week or two ago. Going to be celebrating that 2,000 followers. That's a major achievement for us here at VidaneTV and our young, it's been 3 years now coming up in March. So thank you so much for everybody out there with all the support, and we're getting ready to do some racing. iRacing at Pace Car has shut the strobe lights off. They're lined up 2 by 2 in behind, and we're ready to rock and roll here at Myrtle Beach for 100 laps on the dock. Oh, we're almost ready to roll. Got to get that last chance qualifier in, got to find out which 26 drivers are going to be racing here tonight in the big show, the 100 lapper, and what better way to do that than to put 10 up on the board. There goes the pace car down to grab a corn dog and a Coke. And we talked to some of these drivers before the race started. The restart zone, very difficult to see here. There you can see it. Easy enough for us to see. It's that one red line down there on the inside of the pit wall. Late start here as you can see the back half of the field kind of gets wadded up just a little bit. Already 3 wide as they go into turn number 1. But up front, it seems to get sorted out. Creighton in the 77 holding on to it. Big wiggle for the 4 car, spinning for the number 3 of LaFleur. Green flag still stays out. That's a tough break. And you can see the front 6 have kind of broken away just a little bit. There's only 2 cars in behind there in this main group. So if those drivers in the back half of the top 10 have any chance to get into this one, you can see some puffs of smoke there coming out of turn number 2 there on the back straightaway as well. We're going to need a quick caution for these guys to come out, and it may very well come out there. There's Chris Lindquist in the 35, pointed in the wrong direction, trying to grab a gear, trying to get that thing rolling once again. You see getting it almost stuck there in the rubbles. There's the 3 car getting on around, so the 3 of LaFleur was able to pick up a position. Still has to get 2 more, though, to make it into the top 6 to get into those transfer spots. Mark Cretion holding on to the lead. There's Cody Parker in the 11 car right where he qualified. Holding on to second, Eric Pomasco in the 71, rolling in at P3. Everybody looking like their cars are handling pretty well here in race trim. Garrett Benson there in the 4 car holding on to the 4th position, and Jeremy Sargent off the pace in the 55 car. That is a tough break. Going to pull down into the pits in the 55 car. Going to give up that transfer spot as well. That's going to move Jimmy DeCourcy and the 74 into that transfer spot. Started shotgun on the field here tonight. Mark Cretion starting to deal with a little bit of lap traffic now. As you can see, the 57 Sundrop machine of Justin Beecher having some handling issues, got involved in that earlier wreck. There's some big-time damage on the right front of that car, the 77 car, trying to get around the lap traffic as cleanly as he can. You can see there's a little bit of a cushion in behind him, about a half a second or so back to Parker in that number 11 car. Cody Parker going to have to go through this same lap traffic here as well, but I think that's all Cretion's going to have to worry about in the 77. He's got a little bit of a cushion in behind him, a little bit of cushion up towards the front, and it's 0.6 of a second back to that second place car. Crossing the stripe now with 3 laps to go. Cody Parker down low of the number 57 at Beecher. There goes the Sundrop ride up on the high line, just trying to hold on here in the final couple of laps as Mark LaRoche in the 39 car holding on to 5th, kind of all by himself. There is the 4 of Garrett Benson trying to get up around that lap traffic and see if he can maybe get up to the back bumper of Pomasco. But for right now, it looks like we may very well have our 6 drivers unless something happens late in this last chance qualifier. This is the 24 of Lantis getting ready to go a lap down here. Going to try and hold on. This is one of those things where you've got the white flag. You want to try and stay on the lead lap. I don't know if it's going to happen, though, because the 77 down below there on the bottom of the racetrack, able to get down and around, and very easily, I might add. The 11 of Parker going to get a bit of a block there from the lap traffic. 24 of Lane Lantis, but no harm, no foul, as it looks like. Checkered flag flies. Mark Cretion going to come home with the LCQ victory. Cody Parker, Eric Pomasco, Garrett Benson, Mark LaRoche, and Jimmy DeCourcy going to be the 6 drivers that transfer on. There you see the 6th driver in a line crossing the stripe to make it official. The 74 will race here tonight, and unfortunately everybody else going to have to tune in here on VidaneTV. And again, hey, we're live all over the place. We're on Facebook, on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. Be sure to like us, subscribe to us, follow us, all that good stuff, and we are ready to rock and roll. Take a look at those drivers lining up now on the entrance or exit there of pit road, and we'll take a look at the top 20 qualifiers. Skylar Shippey in the 051 going to qualify on the pole, and look how tight these front three cars are. 3/1000ths of a second between the front three. Kyle Kenny in the 54 car going to start on the outside of row number 1. Row 2 looks a little something like this. The 03 of Nathan Wenzel on the inside. Tony Quadros there on the outside, rolling off P4. Dylan Zulo and Justin Prescott going to roll off there in row 3, rather. Aaron Thompson, DJ Gerard, the big boss man, T4P podcast, putting on this winter series here for us. Going to roll off in 8th. Andrew Scott, Corey Casagrande going to roll off in the 5th row. Matthew Kimball, Daniel Sweeney going to roll off 11th and 12th. And a great big field of cars here tonight. JD Stockwell in the 45 car going to start 13th. Mike Hopkins in the 78 car rolling off P14. Jacob Scott, Caden Roberts back in 15th and 16th. Sean Boudreau, Eric Luridu, Tyler Scott, Kyle Buck, Mark Cretion, Cody Parker, Eric Pomasco, Garrett Benson, all making their way into the big show here tonight. And may have taken everybody in the field here this evening. We'll have to double check on that. May have ourselves a 32 car field here. We'll double check on that for sure. You can see a couple of drivers down on pit road. So had a little bit of issue with getting everything set up earlier on, but it looks like everything's ready to rock and roll here at this point. So 32 cars strong here at Myrtle Beach, 100 laps on the docket, and it's all brought to you by the original Wheelman. Be sure to check them out on Facebook and on the web. We'll get all the links sorted out here on social media after the show here tonight. We'll be able to get all that video on demand here as well. Pace car dipping off once again. Going to take the initial restart, the initial start. Shippey down on the bottom side. Kenny in the 54 up on the high side. We wait. Late restart, late start. The 51 making them wait for it, but a good start nonetheless as they head on down into turn number 1. Already wrecking in behind. Caution flag flies just as we took the green. Take a peek at the U-House of Racing Designs instant replay. There's a little bit of calamity there on the front straightaway, and we saw that late kind of slow start here. It almost gave us a little bit of an accordion effect here from mid-pack on back. We'll kind of focus in. You can see everybody checking up front. There's the initial contact between the 19 and the 16. The 13 checks up, and just accordion effect down on the bottom side. That is a tough hit for a lot of drivers in the back of the pack. So we'll get that all sorted out. Gonna have some guys come down pit road, it seems like, see if they can potentially get some repairs done, and that's gonna be something to really keep an eye on here as well, as we've got all these drivers out here. They don't have any of those quick repairs down on pit road, and you've only got the one set of tires that you'll be able to take throughout the race here tonight. So keep an eye on that for sure, and we are gonna get them all lined up once again and see if we can get them re-racked, restacked, and get rocking and rolling once again here. Skylar Shippey still holding on to the lead. Front 6 pretty much unchanged. Kyle Kenny, Nathan Wenzel, top 3. Tony Quadros, Dylan Zulo, and Justin Prescott going to be the top 6 as they run. DJ Gerard, Corey Casagrande, Daniel Sweeney, and Mike Hopkins, the top 10 as they run after that a quarter lap or so of competition. And everybody getting lined up behind the pace car, and we'll see if we can get them all re-racked, restacked, go racing once again here at Myrtle Beach. Still on top of the iRacing pace car. Going to be a lot of wave bys, it seems like, here on this one. Lots of drivers getting trapped almost a lap down, tail end of the longest line as we get around here for the lap number 5 and see where everybody gets sorted out once we get that one to go and once we get the lights off on that iRacing pace car. And one of the things got to keep in mind today is it was a delayed update for iRacing. They had their quote-unquote build day, so they had some updates for the cars, the tracks, different cosmetic things and mechanical things that kind of go on in the background. And a lot of these drivers spent a lot of time kind of practicing before that update came out, and we're not really sure here in the broadcast booth. Usually I like to try and turn a couple of laps before we get going. Didn't have a chance to today, but I don't know if these cars had a little bit of a change in the handling, and that may very well be what we're seeing with some of these drivers. But we will definitely see here. iRacing pace car going to make that hard left-hand turn once again. Here comes the 51 and the 54. We're going to try it once again. They're going to restart on the lap number 6 as everybody comes out of turns 3 and 4. 2x2, better restart there for Shippy and the 51 car, able to pull away, gain a little bit of ground as they head into turns 1 and 2. And as you look all the way throughout the field here, it gives everybody kind of a little bit of breathing room. As you can see, front couple of cars are trying to get it all sorted out here. They're still side by side as they get into 3 and 4, but front 3 single file. Caution flag flies once again here at Myrtle Beach. Wide action in front of the 11 car. A couple of guys getting sent on around. The 11 checks up. The 1 car gets a piece of the quarter panel there on the 11, gets sent on around. That's going to bring out caution flag number 2 here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Again, kind of gives everybody an opportunity to get everything up, tightened up, and ready to rock and roll here at Myrtle Beach. And only second race of the season. Kind of knock the cobwebs out just a little bit. You got to make sure that you know the driving style with everybody up and around you. So gonna take these guys an opportunity, a couple of laps here to pretty much figure out what they need to do to get up towards the front. Bit of an extended cleanup here at Myrtle Beach Speedway, and you got to wonder if the race officials are getting in the ears of these drivers. They've got the voice chat for each of these cars out there, letting everybody know that we got to get it all sorted out, put on a show here for the folks watching and live at home here at VidaneTV. And hard to do that with caution after caution, but hey, like we said, got to get those cobwebs cleared out, and we'll get some green flag racing here once we get rocking and rolling here. Lights off in the iRacing pace car. Once again, these drivers already lined up 2x2. They're antsy. They want to get going. They want to get to where they need to be, and that is exactly the start-finish line. Once again, you can see all throughout the practice here, past hour or so, lots of rubber debris kind of drifting up the racetrack. So did hear a couple of the drivers before we came on the air say that high side may work, but it's going to be really, really twitchy, treacherous. We'll just make up words as we go along here at VidaneTV. It's kind of how we do. Getting the restart, lap number 13 as we cross this stripe. 51 versus the 03 of Wenzel. Green flag flying once again. And you can see just kind of fanning out, it seems like, on lap number 1, heading into turn number 1. Everybody looking for their good little bit of extra grip on the racetrack to see if they can get down and around and up towards the lead. As you can see, the first side-by-side battle there is for third, and right away it looks like it's going to go to the 54 car of Kyle Kenny. The 16, though, of Zillow hanging tough there on that middle groove as caution flag flies once again. Looks like Eric Promasco may be pointed in the wrong direction. We'll take a peek at Viewhouse Racing Designs instant replay, focusing on that 71 car. There you can see some side-by-side racing up in the front. Oh, there's the 24 car pointed in the wrong direction, and see there might have been a little bit of a connection issue there for the 71 of Promasco. It's some big-time damage there as well, so that's a tough break again for some drivers towards the back of the pack as we get everybody re-racked, restacked, and woed back up in behind the pace car, and give everybody an opportunity again to kind of see where their heads are at, where their cars are at, and what all goes on from here. And you can see everybody pretty much lining themselves up 2 by 2. They want to get racing here at Myrtle Beach. You can see everybody's ready to rock and roll up towards the front, so we might see if we can get ourselves a little bit of a, they call it a quickie in the racing world. Everybody lined up behind the pace car. Lights are still on, so we're going to see if we can talk to one of our favorite drivers here at VidaneTV, rocking the top 10, Mike Hopkins. Paulie up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Paulie, what's happening, brother?
Not too much, my man. How we doing, man? How's the car handling? You got anything for him?
Well, you know what? Right now, drinking a couple beers under caution here, trying to just get settled in. And I almost drove in the back of Corey in that last restart, but I think that we're going to be solid top 7 here, top 5 maybe. We'll see.
Looking pretty good so far. Lights are off in the iRacing pace car. Time to get back to work.
Appreciate you, brother. Hopefully you're having a good session up there.
Absolutely. Mike Hopkins, 78 car, running in the top 10 right now, holding on to P10. And made mention, lights are off in the iRacing pace car. Time to go up, clock in wen's again for these drivers. The 51 of Shippy. I think Shippy's led all of the laps so far this evening here. The 03 car is ready to go in the Wenzel camp. On the high side, Kenny Zulo Prescott to top 5 as they take the restart once again. There's a good shot of that red line, the restart zone. On the inside wall, the 03 going to beat everybody to the line, it looks like. We'll see if that's a penalty. I don't believe it's going to be, but you can see really making that high side work. The 16 there of Zulo. Oh, contact between the 51 and the 54, it looked like. 54 got a little bit squirrely down on the apron, got it all sorted out, keeps it pointed in the right direction. We stay clean and green. A little bit further on back, you can see Kyle Kenny is there. Justin Prescott side-by-side battle with Tony Quadros. Quadros going to drop back just a little bit, and the number 12 car down on the bottom side is the 04 of Daniel Sweeney. Tries to make a little magic happen up on that high side. Daniel Sweeney has the front row seat. Oh, he's going to get up there and give the 12 car another little bump. This track's only big enough for one 12 car, and well, we think it's the red, white, and black one. As great racing here on lap number 20. They're side-by-side, Quadros and Prescott, battling it out for that top 5 position. Here comes the 0, the double lot of DJ Gerard. Beautiful paint scheme. And the chrome numbers, I'm pretty sure they're 5-6 horsepower each. You see Corey Casagrande, Mike Hopkins, just talked to him in the 78 car, having a solid run. Caden Robinson behind there. The Taco Bell 008, love it. Love Taco Bell, love the chrome. Love the 008. Good looking paint scheme right there for sure. Andrew Scott, Kyle Buck into the mix as well. There's the 13. There's the 5 car of Andrew Buck. 7 spots gained here on the night so far. Matthew Kimball, Jeremiah Sargent holding on to the top 15. How about that 55 car? We saw off the pace just a little bit ago. Running in the 15th spot, qualified 31st. I mean, really barely made it in through the last chance qualifying race, but has shown a valiant effort getting up through the field, passing 16 cars now to get up into the top 15, and you can see really kind of utilizing that high side, that middle to upper groove. So I don't think we've seen the very last of this number 55 car. It might be someone to mess with later on. Back up front, we check in with the leader, the 03 car. Has about a 0.3 of a second lead over Zulo in the 16 car, and Zulo's got a mirror full of some hungry drivers. Skylar Shippey dropping back to 3rd from the lead in number 51 car. You see there's a little bit of damage, it looks like, over on the right-hand side, but doesn't seem to be slowing the 51 car down too much. That 54 car of Kyle Kenny there as well. Justin Prescott. All these drivers kind of single file up towards the front. They're peeking out just a little bit to try and see if they can get a little bit of clean air on the nose, maybe get it to turn just a little bit, cool those engines off just a little bit as well. You can see everybody nice and single file, doing a little conveyor belt action up towards the front. Corey Casagrande up to 9th. Caden Roberts on the move in that Taco Bell ride, making it happen on the high side, getting a little bit of a pushing help there from Hopkins in the 78. Dropped outside the top 10 just barely. Running in 11th right now, up in the outside wall, just letting us know that he's watching VidaneTV on YouTube. And Andrew Scott in the 13 car right in behind, and they're side by side. Kyle Buck and Matthew Kimball still battling it out side by side. The 44 is there as well, and you can see all the way around this track there's been some great battles kind of going on. As we take a peek, here's Chris Lindquist in the 35 car, gained a bunch of spots, 10 spots up from the 28th position as working towards the front in that Jegs ride. Oh, the 44 car is around. That's going to cause caution and a big pile up there with a couple of drivers involved. Jacob Scott and that AC Delco ride finding ourselves another caution flag here. We'll take a peek at it here on the Newhouse Racing Designs instant replay, and we're going to look for that 44 car as that's where it started out. There it is. Struggling with the live replay button for some reason this week. We'll get that all sorted out. We're working on the upgrades here at HQ in the studio, so we'll get that button unstuck or stuck or whatever it may be. But there's that 55 car. Kind of looks like it's kind of got into the back bumper of the 44 car, and then 44 gets kind of bounced around like a pinball. Really nowhere to go here at that point. And we'll see if we can back this up one more time, and we'll take a look at the aerial view from the blimp. You can see the 55 gets in there, just gets in there too hot to trot, gets in the back of the 44, sends them on around, and as the 44 tries to gather it back up, the 11 thought it was going to be able to get down there and squeeze on in, but unfortunately ran out of real estate, ran out of room. Big hit for the 44 there, and you can see down on pit road for Jacob Scott. We'll see if they rejoin. Already a couple of laps down. It appears 6 laps down as it looks on our timing tower there. But lap number 30 in the books. Everybody lining them up once again behind that pace car here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. SimCube 03 ride holding on to the lead for the time being. Nathan Wenzel going to be that's the leader, Nathan Wenzel, holding on to the lead. Dylan Zulo going to be up there in the 16 car on the outside. Kyle Kenny, Skylar Shippey, and Justin Prescott, the top 5 so far as we get ready to take that restart once again here on lap number 33. As we cross the stripe, Barney in the flag stand says we're ready to rock and roll. He's going to have the pace car driver, shut those strobe lights off once more, and we are going to get ourselves another restart. And we've seen a couple of different styles of restarts so far throughout the evening here at Myrtle Beach. Even saw a couple of guys throughout practice earlier on, kind of practice the different styles of restarts, making them wait for it, getting off as quickly as you can. But we'll see what the 03 does. You can see Wenzel down on the bottom side, and as they come out of the turn number 4, there's that red line there on the wall where you're able to take that restart, and there you can see it. They are going to take that restart. 16 going to jump down on the bottom side as quickly as he can, get it all sorted out, get it all single file here. Kyle Kenny going to do the very same in the 54 car. They try and slide on up in front of the 51 of Shippey, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be enough momentum. Shippey making that middle groove work with the number 51 car up there, and up kissing the wall just a little bit, and you can see now a little side-by-side action for the lead. The 03 gets loose. The 16 sees that door open just a little bit, drops his shoulder and boots that thing on down, takes over the lead in that number 16Z ride, and Dylan Zulo going to come in to the lead. And you can see it's pretty much a dogfight for second and behind him as we cross the stripe for lap number 36. A little side-by-side action between the 51 and the 03. The 51 of Shippy doing an awesome job in that middle groove, up on the high side. Back in to the top three, trying to take away that second position, and you can see there's a bit of damage on the right front of almost everybody here in the top five. A little loosey-goosey there for the 16 car, but holds on to it. As you can see, a little bit of smoke on the racetrack. A couple of drivers moving up towards that high line to try and avoid any calamity that might be down on the bottom of the track. We stay clean, we stay green, as doesn't appear to be anybody on the racing groove. So that is definitely some good news here. And you can see the different styles of lines here. The 03 car really cutting down to the bottom of the racetrack, taking the short way around the racetrack, but the 16 seems to be almost diamonding the corner off, at least down in 1 and 2. You can see kind of enters high and comes in and really comes down with a late apex there. That's one of those moves you can really only do with clean air, because if you had somebody up in front of you, somebody right up in behind, it's going to be tough to keep that door open on the bottom side and also hold on to that position. So Zulo doing an awesome job, and you can see very, very loose coming off of turn number 4. And as we get further on into this run, I think that's going to get a little bit worse, as the back ends of these race cars, they're going to burn off some fuel and lose just a little bit of weight. We got a car off the pace, it looks like. I believe that was, I know Kyle Kenny's still ready to up in the top here. Might have been the 13 car that dropped back just a little bit, but sorts it all out, everything A-okay, as we've got one of the longest green flag runs of the night here so far. The 51 completes that pass for the P2 position, gets around Nathan Wenzel in the 03 car, and you can see Wenzel still all the way down on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to kind of utilize that apron just a little bit. And we see this at Stafford Motor Speedway in almost all of their divisions. You get all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack and you try and utilize that apron, try and get that apron to de-wedge the car just a little bit, make it a little bit loose. He didn't really need too much hand help getting that car to loosen up. Wenzel very, very loose, very, very close to that inside safer barrier, that inside wall down on the stripe, but really showing that, it might be cool, calm, and collected on the outside of these cars, but underneath the helmet, underneath the roof of these things, really sawing back and forth on that steering wheel. You can see the 03 trying to get down in the bottom there, trying to get around Skylar Shippey in that 51 car, but not quite enough room to get the whole car in there. And you can see the 03 having to back up, check up just a little bit, but it makes the exit of the corners so much stronger because he's able to really get on the throttle much, much quicker, as he's off much earlier.
I gotcha. I don't know. With these fixed setups and with these things, it's way too hard to pass. I doubt it, but gotta give it a shot. Thank you.
I promise you, the commentary has been fantastic for the past 5 or 10 minutes or so. The cool thing about these wireless microphones is they come unplugged. Yeah, the wireless microphones come unplugged. We made mention we're doing some renovations here at VidaneTV HQ. Zach T, appreciate the heads up. Sorry for the loss of audio there, but we got it all sorted out. You just got to plug these microphones back in. They work great. Technology works awesome when you get it all sorted out. But lap 64, in the books, getting ready to cross the stripe for lap number 65. The iRacing pace car has shut those lights off one more time, and we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty. 35 laps to go, and we take this restart. And just saw Corey Casagrande gets involved in that wreck there. Lost a lap down on pit road too long. The field came on around. So talking to these drivers throughout the night and before the race, it's really hard to pass here at Myrtle Beach. So it's going to be really tough to try and get your lap back at this racetrack. 16Z gets a phenomenal restart to 51 there as well, though. Tucks right into the tire tracks as they go in to turn number 1. That 12 car, though, not finished with them yet. That 12 car, Tony Quadros, wants to get up to the lead, wants to hold on and get some laps led. And you can see very, very strong, gets right up to the back bumper of the number 54. And single file for the front 5 cars, as it looks like. Prescott and the 04 going to take a peek down below the number 12 car. You can see the 51 of Shippey doing everything they can down on the bottom of the racetrack as the Zillow machine, the 16, kind of able to drive off in the higher side there. You can see big slide for the 16 car. Everybody up front, too, has been on that same set of tires that they started the race here with as well. So unsure what these tires are going to look like when they come off the car, but I can bet you they're going to be used up. Solo doing everything they can to hold on. Shippey doing everything they can to try and get up to the lead. And you can see the front 5, 6, 7, 8 cars all single file doing that conveyor belt action here. There's Kyle Kenny in the 54. Mike Hopkins in the 78 car. Talked to him earlier on here tonight. He's up to 7 spots gained on the evening. Kyle Buck in the 5 right on in behind him. DJ Gerard up to the 9th spot. Aaron Thompson, Aaron up in the top 10 for the first time here tonight in the number 19 car. You see Garrett Benson, Aaron Scott in the mix as well, but the caution flag flies here on lap number 69. Just Racing Designs instant replay tells us the tale, and there you see a little bit of a bump ski again off the front bumper of the 55. Might have to take a peek at that with race officials. We'll back it up one more time here, but that 55 may very well have like one of those push bars on the front of that car. Seen it used a couple of times here tonight, but we'll take a peek at it once again. Actually, we're going to back that up, and we're going to change the view, so we can do that here. It's only live TV. It's only live TV. But as you get into the second half of this one, everybody doing, you see the 1 car gets down in the apron just enough to get slowed up from that wall. 55 car, nowhere to go at that point. 55 back into the back bumper of the 1 car. So that's a tough break. That's you can only control so much. You can only get up to the back of the car and really control your car. It's tough to really get everything you need to out of that one. So, pointed in the wrong direction is the 1 car, and looks like they may lose. Nope, Sean going to hold on to the lead. Not going to come down pit road. Didn't get any damage there at that point. So good news there, and it's always cool to see drivers kind of jump into the chat. Jeremiah Surgeon jumping in the Facebook chat here as well. A couple of other drivers jumping in and giving us the inside info. The 411, as it were, here in the Myrtle Beach 100, presented by the Turn 4 podcast, as well as the Turn 4 podcast. The original Wheelman. I don't know why I lost that. So the note's getting thrown away in the, not thrown away, but blown away with the fan here that we've got in HQ. We're still trying to get this whole studio worked out here. We're coming up with some new game plans on where we should move stuff here. We've only been doing this for 3 years in the same studio, so we got some work to do here at HQ. But man, it's been a blast the past couple of years. We're live all over the place here tonight, taking over the internet as we do here at VidaneTV. We're live on our Facebook page, which now has well over 2,000 followers and likers, as it will, and a lot of that is because of the Turn 4 Podcast Winter Series. Great to have a new set of faces, new set of drivers, new set of fans jumping in and hanging out with us here on a Wednesday night. So we're live on the YouTube page as well. The neat thing with that YouTube page, if you got a smart TV, a tablet, any kind of electronic device that has the YouTube app, you can do a quick search for the VidaneTV Live, and it'll pop right up on any race night that we have here, which you'll be able to check the schedule out over on our Facebook page, and you can pop that up on the big screen. Snap a picture, throw it up on Twitter, get that hashtag VidaneTV, join the conversation, let us know where you're watching from, what you're looking for, and let your friends and family know that you are watching a little bit of iRacing action here on a, what night is it? Wednesday night. Wednesday night. 4 races this week. How about that? Tim's Corner Motorsports with the late model stocks last night. Tonight, the Turn 4 podcast, late model stocks here as well. Tomorrow night, NEP Series returns with the Stafford Motor Speedway. That's going to be cool to revisit my home track. And then Friday night, Tim's Corner Motorsports comes back with, you guessed it, some more late models. It's going to be a lot of fun throughout the week. Green flag flies once again. The 16Z gets that hole shot, gets the cleared position. The 51 going to tuck into the tire tracks for the time being, but that 12 car is hungry. Got all the way up to the back bumper, and now he's 3 wide back in for third, bouncing back and forth. The 12 and the 12 still duking it out for position. They're still 3 wide as they get into 3 and 4. The 12 gets a little bit of a bump, slides up the up into the higher groove, and look now, but Mike Hopkins has joined the chat. The 78 car on the bottom of the racetrack doing everything he can to try and get himself up into the top 5. Phenomenal run last week here in the Turn 4 podcast series. Talked to him after he finished 3rd here this past week, and man, oh man, they are still racing hard for 5th on back. You can see everybody trying to get up towards the front, utilizing everything they've learned. There's the 12 and 12 getting a little friendly with each other up on the high side. The 5 car going to join the fight as well. The 19 moving on up. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. They want to eat it too. But man, oh man, great racing up from 5th on back to about 15th. You could throw a blanket under about 15 of these cars, and you'd lose most of them. 23 laps to go here at Myrtle Beach, and the chaos all being led by Mike Hopkins, who has, in fact, broken into the top 5. Running in 5th right now, DJ Gerard, the next driver, in line to try and get himself single file. Wants to get around those 212 cars. Oh, the 19 car pointing in the wrong direction. Big time slide for Aaron Thompson as the caution flag comes out. Almost got everybody by. Looks like a little bit of contact after the fact since it may have been the 46 car around, but we'll back it up here and take a peek. And this is just one of those deals where it's a late race incident. These guys have been going at it pretty tough. Long green flag run. There you see DJ Gerard in the 12. Everything looking good. Tight racing, but everything okay. There you see the 19 comes up, and there's the contact with the 12 car. Tries to get the thing saved. You can see he locks those brakes up. Everything A-okay. The 19 doesn't hit anything else, but unfortunately for a couple of other drivers, there's just no room to get on and around. And there you saw pointed in the wrong direction. So Aaron and the 19 car are going to drop all those spots once again up in the top 10, dropping back to the tail end of the lead lap, or last car on the lead lap, rather. It's going to be 19 cars on the lead lap. Free pass is going to be Corey Casagrande once they get the 1 to go, and it's going to put him back on the lead lap. We saw that 7CT car came down pit road a couple of cautions ago after being involved in a wreck, took 4 tires, ended up being on pit road for too long, lost a lap. So it'll be interesting to see if Casagrande can do anything with that 7CT car, and if those tires are still just a little bit fresher. So it's we'll see what Corey can do in the 7CT car once he gets back on the lead lap. That's going to give us 20 cars here on the lead lap, and everybody chasing down Zulo in the 16Z machine. Prescott there in 2nd. Skylar Shippey very fast all night long so far on the 51 car in 3rd. Kyle Kenny and Mike Hopkins top 5 as they run. DJ Gerard, Daniel Sweeney, Tony Quadros, Kyle Buck, and Caden Roberts as the top 10. Biggest mover of the night so far going to be that 35 Jegs machine. 15 spots gained for Chris Lindquist so far here tonight. And well, you can see there's some of those corners on that race car that are pretty used up. But you know what? It doesn't matter how it looks. It just matters what position you finish in at the end of the night. We talked about the original Wheelman merchandise here this evening. Definitely check them out. Lots of cool shirt designs, racing designs on their page, the Facebook page, social media outlets, their website, all that good stuff. But we haven't really mentioned the Vidane.net merchandise here really at all so far here on a Wednesday night. Shoot on over to Vidane.net. Lots of cool merchandise over there. T-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, beanies. Got those beanies back. I'm so happy to have the VidaneTV beanies back in stock. They got the little fluff balls up on top. You can cut those off if you want to. I think they're kind of cool. But it's great to have all that stuff checked out. Be sure to check it out. And if you've got an idea for a t-shirt, or you've got a racing team or a group that wants to get their own merchandise, you're not sure where to look, give us a shout. Slide in our DMs. We're always open and always available for that. VidaneTV offers merchandise, logo design, web design, websites, all the good stuff. You can just concentrate on making the car run. We'll take care of the marketing stuff. Definitely get in touch with us. Slide in our DMs for sure. But man, oh man, 17 laps to go. 16 when we cross the stripe. iRacing pace cars already down on the bottom of the racetrack in the safety of pit road, crossing the restart zone. The 16Z gets shot out of a canyon. The 04 car holding on to the high side of Prescott. Let's see if he can get down and around and that middle groove before the tires really start to heat up and slide around this racetrack. And you can see the more debris we get on this racetrack, the more slippery this racetrack gets. And you can see everybody throughout the field really sliding around. Mike Hopkins taking a dive down on the bottom side to see if he can maybe find a little bit of grip, and the 04 going all the way up to the high side there in the second position. DJ Gerard coming up hard in that 0 car. The 12 getting all over the back bumper of the 54. Tapped him twice. That may very well be the TC3 we're looking at on that high side. 4 just outside the top 5. DJ Gerard going to take a peek down low. A couple of drivers coming off a pit road here for some green flag pit stops. 16Z rather. Still up front, the 04, another big wiggle for Prescott, but still able to really close the gap, getting into the corners. The 51 of Shippey is there as well. 1, 2, 3, you can throw a blanket over him. The fight is for 4th on back. Hopkins holding on to the spot right now, but they are 3 wide for the 5th position. DJ Gerard down on the bottom side. The number 12 car of Tony Quadros there in the center, and Kyle Kenny all the way up on the high side. DJ Gerard backs up just a little bit to give these 2 drivers an opportunity to kind of duke it out for that 5th position. And he's going to try and take advantage of whomever is down on the bottom side. You can see Sweeney in the other 12 car is in the fight as well. Buck in the 5 car, the 008 Taco Bell ride of Caden Roberts up in the mix as well. Anybody's ball game here for 5th on back, really from 5th on back to 15th, as you can see everybody towards the back of the pack kind of getting it all sorted out, single file as they run. And this is where you're going to start to see some drivers make some moves that you may not have seen throughout the rest of the race. Little side-by-side action for that 5th spot. Tony Quadros making it work down the bottom side, really getting that 12 car to the bottom of the racetrack underneath the 54. Matthew Kimball pointed in the wrong direction. Just kidding. It's going to be the 008 of Caden Roberts. Spins that Taco Bell ride around as the field comes by. We stay green. Good eye there for race officials. The 16Z, they know we've got 10 laps to go and we're trying to put on a show here, so doesn't look like anybody else was involved. We're gonna keep it green. That 16Z gonna hold on to the lead. The 04 car though is there. Justin Prescott doing what he needs to do to get up to the back bumper of the 16Z, and it's one thing to get to the back bumper, it's another thing entirely to get up and around the drivers. And we've seen that Teddy Christopher bump. That may very well have been the first one, letting him know that he's there. The second one, hey, you got to move. And then the third one, well, see ya, I'm going to take the spot here from you. But so far, so good. The 04 car, another big wiggle, holding on to it, though. Prescott hungry, very, very hungry. Wants to get up around the Zolo machine of the 16 and win here at Myrtle Beach, the second race of the season. 10 race series here for the Turn 4 podcast group. And you can see just the difference in the lines between the 16 and the 04, and the 51 of Shippey is doing everything that they need to do. He's doing all the homework, making sure they know exactly what these 2 cars are going to do in the closing laps here at Myrtle Beach. Caution flag flies once again. The 5 car of Buck has lost a tire. That is broken. Very broken. 5 car. Oh, right in front of the 74 car. Spotter must have dropped the radio or something. There's a tire still out on the racetrack. Entirely sure how that thing is handled. There you see the right front is just off, dragging that thing all the way around. Let's see if we can take a peek. And that's no bueno. No bueno for the number 5 car. Let's see if we can back that up on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Going to lose a lap there. The 5 car more than likely done here for the evening. It's tough to get around this place with 3 tires, let alone having 4. But we'll take a peek once again here from the U-House Racing Designs instant replay, side by side with DJ Gerard there in the 0 car. We saw the 1 get around a couple of laps ago. Gerard up into the wall just a little bit. And the 5 car comes down close to the inside wall, not quite there. And as he comes back up, just same piece of real estate between the 0 and the 5 car. And there you see that tire just breaks. That thing just comes right off the car, and well, it keeps on going. It looks like the tire's actually out in front of the car here at this point. And there you can see the 74 car. Great heads-up driving there. It gets on around the 5 car, and going to be able to gather it back up. DJ Gerard down on pit road to get some service on that machine, and we get them all sorted out once again. Going to get a green-white checkered restart here. Lights still on the iRacing pace car, so we'll give everybody the opportunity to get on down and around, make sure the wheel's nice and tight on the desk, make sure the belts are good, get you a nice quick sip of whatever you're drinking here tonight, and rock this thing to the end here. 3 laps to go. Going to get that green-white checkered attempt, and man, oh man, it is going to be a doozy. We've seen some crazy finishes here on VidaneTV, especially with these late model stocks here in the iRacing service. And if you're on the lead lap, realistically, you've got a shot to win this thing. Don't tell that to the guys up in the top 5. They've been there all evening long, but as fans and as broadcasters, we always know that anything can happen in the world of short track racing, and iRacing is, in fact, no different. Going to get another opportunity to get around the racetrack under pace speed, given these guys, they don't need the opportunity here at this point. You can see they're already lined up. They're 2x2. They want to go. They're getting ready. They're getting those cars put where they need to be. It's going to be fantastic here. Fantastic finish for sure. And there it is, the 1 to go signal from Barney up in the flag stand. Going to get the restart with 2 laps to go. Count them, 1, 2, 16Z down the bottom side of Zulo. Prescott in the 04. Shippy, Hopkins, and Quadros in the top 5. Kenny Wenzel, Sweeney, Benson, Kimball, the top 10 as they get ready to take this restart. What could be the final restart of the evening. The iRacing pace car going to dip on down to the safety of pit road one more time. The 16Z down on the bottom of Zulo. The 04 of Prescott down up on the high side. The 51 of Shippy. Mike Hopkins there as well. Green flag flies once again. Popsicle sticks. 2 laps to go here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Zulo doing everything they can to hold on to the lead. The 04 doing what they need to do on the high side. They want nothing to do with the bottom side of the racetrack. They're going to try and get around high, wide, and handsome to see if they can make a little bit of the magic happen. How about the side-by-side battle in behind for third? Big slide there for the 04 car. The leader, the 16Z, up into the outside wall. Mike Hopkins on the high side trying to get around the 51 car. Shippy holding on to the bottom of the racetrack. Everything A-OK. Big wiggle for the 04 and the 78. They're going to slide back just a little bit. Coming into 3 and 4 for the final time. The 04 car hard on the binders, trying to make it happen. Doesn't get there. The 16Z of Dylan Zulo going to come home victorious here at Myrtle Beach Speedway for the original Wheelman 100, race number 2 here on the season. Justin Prescott going to come home in second. Skylar Shippy going to round out the top 3. We're going to try and talk to those 3 drivers here in the post-race show and get our little bit of insight as to what went down throughout the 100 laps, 102, 103 laps or so here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. But the 16 of Zulo victorious, and there you see the finishing results. Justin Prescott, Skylar Shippy going to be the top 3. Tony Quadros finishes in 4th. Mike Hopkins back-to-back top 5s here in the Turn 4 podcast Winter Series. Daniel Sweeney there in 6th. Kyle Kenny, Nathan Wenzel, Garrett Benson, Matthew Kimball going to be the top 10. Chris Lindquist, Andrew Scott, Caden Roberts, Mark LaRoche, and Sean Baudreau, the top 15. Cody Parker going to be the last driver on the lead lap. And man, oh man, entertaining race to say the least here at race number 2. And it's been great to kind of follow along with these guys over on social media. Turn 4 Podcast LLC. Be sure to like the Facebook page. You get all the updates, the points, the interviews, the video on demand, all that good stuff. And oh, by the way, there's a podcast there as well, so you'll be able to check that as well. But man, oh man, we're going to talk to the victor here tonight, Dylan Zulo, the number 16, parking it on the start-finish line right there in victory lane. Dylan, talk to us, man. Great run in that 16 car.
Oh man, thank you. That was That was a hard one for sure. That was definitely a hard one to hold on to.
So you get into this one, you know you've got a set of tires, one set, count them, one, down on pit road. Do you get into it knowing that you might not need them? Only 100 laps here in Myrtle Beach.
I mean, really, it just came down to the strategy of it. I mean, we had 100 laps. They were counting caution laps, and I realized with the amount of cautions that we were having, with the laps counting and the few amount of people that were pitting, that it was probably better off just to stay out and run the strategy to see if it would hold on.
Doing everything you need to do to come home with the victory here tonight, and a good points night here as well. It's only race number 2, but are you thinking big picture at this point?
I'd like to think so. I try not to keep my mind on it too much because that's when it can go south. But definitely went into a different mindset of racing a little bit better than I did last week, a little bit cleaner. So hopefully that it's paying off.
Putting on a clinic here tonight for sure. Coming home victorious. Got to give you an opportunity to thank anybody that might be watching at home. Who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack?
Oh geez, first a huge shout out to my mom and my dad. Even with my real racing, they make everything happen. Zula Fabrication Chassis, Spalding Racing, Springfield Paving. They're really the big ones. Ron's Fix It Shop, and they really make this all happen.
And coming home with that victory here tonight. On to the next one. Congratulations, Dylan. Great run here tonight.
Thank you.
Slide a little bit further on back. It's always cool when drivers pay attention to the drivers meeting and top 3 drivers parking it on the start finish line, giving us a good opportunity. I don't have to get my short little legs all the way around this virtual racetrack. How cool is that? Justin Prescott in the 04 car. Fast all night long here tonight, and man, good run here for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, that's Kenny Thompson in the car. Justin Prescott, is that a substitute driver here tonight?
Yes, I'm substituting for Justin tonight. He's out at PRI in Indy, I think.
So coming home in somebody else's car, parking it in second place. How cool is that? Any kind of strategy getting into this one? Were you kind of expecting to maybe come down pit road at one point or another to use those tires, or was it just all go for the 04 car?
For me, it was going to kind of depend on how long of a run we got at the beginning and how many people were going down pit road. I didn't really want to get tied up in the back, so if many people weren't going to come, I wasn't going to come either.
Kind of doing what everybody else did here, and a couple of guys came down pit road. Doesn't really seem like the tires helped out too much. So that may very well have been on the docket here for everybody. Got to give you an opportunity here to thank anybody that helps Justin get to and from the virtual racetrack in the 04, but you as well, Kenny.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to thank all my friends and family and thank everyone who helps Justin. I'm not sure who that is, but everyone that helps Justin, and thank everyone that supports me.
Absolutely solid second place finish here for Kenny Thompson, subbing for Justin Prescott. Good points tonight for sure. Congratulations, man. Great run.
Thank you.
And last but not least, this 51 car led a bunch of laps in the first half of the race, slid back just a little bit after starting on the pole as well. But Skylar Shippey coming home with a solid third place finish here tonight. Talk to us. That 51's got a little bit of damage there on the right front.
Oh yeah, she smoked the wall pretty good early on, but it held on. This thing was a rocket ship, even with the wheel was off center a good couple degrees, but she did the trick.
Absolutely. And same question, really, as everybody else. Did you get into this thinking it was going to be a tire race? You had to save tires, or what was the strategy coming into the 100 lapper?
Yeah, I definitely knew we were gonna have to save tires, but I definitely expected to come in at one point. But just like Kenny said, I wasn't coming in unless anyone else came in. I knew how the cautions were going, so I didn't want to get back there.
There's a couple of decals on that 51 car, but it looks like there's a lot of blank space, a lot of room for more potential sponsors maybe on that 51 car. But who gets you to and from the virtual track? Who helps you out, Skylar?
So Salon Meraki, Northeast Home Restorations, those are the IRL sponsors too. If anyone else wants to slap a logo on it, hit me up. That's for sure. But Heat Race Heroes, they get me going too. So that's about it.
Solid run here tonight, Skylar. Good points tonight here as well. Congratulations. And those, in fact, were our top 3 finishers here tonight. 100 laps, 103 after we took that green-white checkered finish. But nonetheless, a solid run here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. And it's great to see these Turn 4 podcast guys putting on a show here for us on Wednesday nights. Taking a quick peek at the VidaneTV schedule. There you see it for December and January. Lots of dates up and lots of dates available there. Primetime dates and times still available. Fridays, Saturdays, Sunday, and Monday. If your league out there wants to run on those nights on VidaneTV, reach out to us. We'll get you out on the airwaves and entertain the masses as we do here tonight. Tomorrow night, back with the NEP series after a couple of weeks off. They're back at Stafford Motor Speedway. And then Friday night, we're at Slinger for the very first time here at VidaneTV. Tim's Corner Motorsports bringing the Total Electric Super Late Model Series back out on track one more again this Friday night. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. And man, oh man, that's going to put a pin in it for us here tonight. We're going to catch you on the flip side. And when we do, we're going to be doing it live.